Hi there. I'm Mike Geldreich, the current president of the Lakeside Buoys, and I'm here with Hear the Noise on a cold, crisp, but sunny weekday afternoon, enjoying some preseason training with Pacific FC. So we're here.
How are we?
We're great.
Football's back.
Man,
Sun shining.
Football's back.
All
Sun
right.
shining. It's cold. It's crisp. It's,
Yeah.
You know, it's island soccer.
We'll take it.
Thanks for being back,
Of course,
man.
yeah.
I'm really stoked. Also, go Lake Hill.
Go Lake Hill.
Also, undefeated this year? No,
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up,
but they're top of the league.
Nice.
Is
that Div 1?
Div 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't realize until today when I was reading up on your bio. I didn't realize you were Husky.
Yeah. I spent 4 years down there. I left, graduated in 2012. From 2012 to 2016, I was a Husky. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you take in school?
Communications.
Nice.
Yeah. So basically, I was like, I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm here to play soccer, but it's good. I got an education out of it. So
Nice. Yeah.
And we were a good team too. In 2013 or 14, we were #1 in the nation. So
Yeah.
they got a great program down there, and I'm still quite close with them.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and to not have to travel so far to go and do that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's far enough where I'm getting the experience, but it's close enough for family. I can see family when I need to.
Nice.
Yeah.
So lacing them up and coming up for preseason. How are you feeling?
I feel great.
Yeah. Not shaking off the rust too bad, or?
It was okay. We kept pretty busy in the off season. It's a long off season, right? And you have to keep active. Otherwise, if you jump just straight in, you're gonna hurt yourself or something.
Too true.
But it's good to be back. Good to be back with the group. It feels nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And some new faces.
A lot of new faces. Yeah.
Yeah. Some potentially past rivals.
Yeah. It could be. Yeah.
But new rivals coming in, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's going to be. I imagine you're hoping to put a couple past Callum.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because on the media they're like trying to pit us against each other, and I said in the interview I was like, I hope to score a couple on him, like totally joking, and they cut it out and they were like, they made it all serious. I texted Cal, I was like, I was just joking, by the way, but not really joking because I actually do want to put a couple past him. That'll be all right. Sorry, Cal. Sorry, Cal.
It's true. I've reached out as well, being like, hey man, you know I love you, but for 90 minutes, I'm gonna heckle you hard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I would expect no less. So that's great. That's kind of the Lakeside Boys Supporter of the Year award often goes to someone who ended up transferring out, right? So
yeah. It'll be good. I can't wait. April 15th. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be a really good game. Yeah.
Good for Canadian soccer, and just to get another rivalry going, another big soccer game going in the country, and the fact that it is so close, and then we do have there's people that we know playing against it makes it that much bigger of a game. So yeah, it's exciting.
Coming out of the gates hard, right? Like 3 games in 8 days.
Yeah. Straight away, and all at home too. So it's good.
It's
3
true.
games at home, and we start off hot.
On the fan side of things, we're really excited for that Can Champ draw.
Yeah.
Right. That all home games as far as they can take it. Right. We're behind you guys on that one. We'll be extra loud. There's something about Starlight under the lights for a cup game where that energy is there.
Yeah,
right?
when the lights are on, that's when the football comes out. So
I'll never forget that Whitecaps goal that you scored. I actually happened to be on that end at that moment. It was like, yes.
That was definitely one of the highlights of the club. Winning the championship, obviously, but we want to make more. We want to keep going. We're still young. We're still in our infancy as a club, but we want to keep making history, and I hope to this year as well.
Yeah, we're hoping. We got your guys back. At least we get to travel to some away games this year.
Vancouver.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah,
to be able to go and do that is huge, right?
Yeah.
I think statistically that would be the farthest possible journey that an English team would have to do in their whole pyramid.
Right. Yeah.
Still, that's the closest.
It's still closest.
It's not closest in the league, but it's still pretty close for us, right? The fact that we can do it without being on a plane is huge.
Of course, yeah. It's hilarious that a ferry ride to Vancouver and then a 6-hour flight to Halifax, and it's still one league. It's hilarious, but that's what it is. That's what the Canadian Premier League is all about.
What are your post-playing prospects?
Post-playing?
I don't want to put a timeline on this,
no,
right?
Like
let's say 10 years, right?
10 years. Oh,
like not to think that you'd be necessarily kicking it for
when I'm 38.
Yeah, and stopping shots or.
It's a good question, and I think about it often, but I know what my passion is. Football is my passion, and I have a lot of experience in it, and I hope to stay around the game, whether it be coaching or somewhere on the field, or maybe it's in the front office or something, and hopefully I can bring my expertise to the game in some other way, and I definitely want to stay around the game 100%.
Yeah, that's great. That's great news because that level of ambassadorship needs to stick around, in my opinion, especially in Canada, where it feels like it's an upward trajectory for the sport in the country, right?
Well, this has been my job for the past 8 years. It doesn't feel right just hopping into an office cubicle for a 9 to 5. I don't know if I'd be able to do it now. This is what I know. So
what are you going to do? Just like work on spreadsheets?
Yeah. I mean, if I have to, I'll do it. But ideally, I want to stay with the game.
Awesome. That's great news.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Josh. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you guys in a couple weeks.
Saturday nights at Starlight. We'll see you guys there. Yeah.
Well, I've never missed a home game, so
you're always there. You're ready
I'm always
to go.
there. That's right.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so we're here today on this crisp but sunny preseason morning, talking to head coach of Pacific FC, James Merriman. How you doing today?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to be here. Really excited to see the ball being kicked around. Excited for the season. I imagine you are as well. You're wearing many hats this year, not just for PFC, but like in soccer in BC.
Yeah. It's been a busy off season.
Right.
I'm not so involved in the Not So Mad FC, other than I've been a part of the Hope and Health organization for a long time. But the group that's there on the ground in Vancouver is really owning that. We were just kind of behind the scenes, preparing for what we thought could be a great idea and a great venture for the organization. Mm-hmm. And so we're happy to make that happen. But my focus has, of course, been here.
That's good news as a PFC fan. But also at a time of unprecedented growth for the sport in the country, it's great to see that it's happening.
Absolutely.
And especially, like I would personally consider moves like Not So Much FC part of the path of reconciliation.
Absolutely, that's how we see it. We call it our North Star, or the top of what we for players to shoot towards. All the Indigenous athletes that we work with, all the players that are in our academies and in our programs that are playing on the mini pitches. We want them to be in the staff of that team, players on the roster of that team, and hopefully it continues to build and grow into something that they all aspire to be on, working in, or support, and go and watch games and be a part of the League One. So it's an exciting adventure for Hope and Health and for the group that's there in Vancouver, and I'm happy for us and happy for them to get behind a new program.
Nice. I'm excited to see some of the new faces today. I remember last year the preseason game against the Vikes, there were moments where I'm like, I don't know half the guys out there. It didn't quite feel that way today, but there are still some missing faces that I know that have signed up. I hope they're well and healthy.
Yeah.
But more importantly, some new faces, and I hope that is that the team chemistry is starting to build.
Absolutely. I mean, we came in this week, we wanted to do the full week. We've trained twice a day, every single day. Plus we've been in the gym. We've been here at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., all the way till 5 p.m., spending long days. But we got exactly what we wanted to see, where we're at from a physical perspective, and for us to become a team. And you could see it, you could feel it around everybody's got a good energy already. Everybody's connecting, and most importantly, connecting through the game. We've got a lot of really good footballers, good technical footballers that understand each other through the ball and through football. So, Adonijah Reed, Eamon Salouf, you come in straight, Stephen Yates, you can see these guys seamlessly joining into the team and how we want to play. So I think it's been a really good week, really positive week.
That's great news, because you never really know, right? In that preseason moment, you're like, whoa, how's the locker room going to end up? Right?
Yeah.
Is everyone going to get along? Or Did they play one another in junior and hate it, you know?
But we have, I know players have moved, but we have great leadership still with Josh Hurd, with Manu Aparicio, with Thomas Merrijaguer, Amir Didic. I mean, these guys, straight away, they're bringing the players under their wing. They're taking the young guys, they're taking the new guys. Even Kunle Dadaluk now stepping up in that role because he's got a relationship with Stephen Yates and George. George has come in. So I think, you know, yes, there's moving parts. I think in every club in the CPL, from what I've seen, there's been a lot of moving parts, apart from maybe Forge. So I think we're in a great place. You know, been together for 5 days, and by the end of the week, I feel really good. The staff feels positive. There's a great energy in the team, and we're only just getting started.
Yeah, there was some great banter there during the PK drills.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that. There was a moment where I'm like, man, it's like, guys just want to chip out there, and you're like,
yeah. Amir Didic took initiative with the final penalty, and it was something to do with the CONCACAF match, he said. But
nice.
You know, it was a nice little moment for the group to finish off the week.
But we got a new target man, it looks like, this year. I don't know if that's the role you're going to have him playing, but Easton coming in, you know, being that center forward, and I think clocking in at 6'6".
Yeah,
that's a tall guy.
I mean, Easton's impressed me since right from when he came into the league, and he's a player that we were speaking with before last season. Obviously, Diaz had a excellent season and moved on, and that's not an easy player to replace. You don't replace Diaz. Diaz is, you know, he is who he is to our club, and he'll always have a part in our history as an organization, as a team, as a club, and what he brought. But I think Easton Ongaro brings the same type of presence and effectiveness, and is one of the top strikers to play in the CPL. So I'm really excited to work with him, and I think he's got a ton of potential.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he still holds the record for most goals in a season in the league.
Yeah, but, I'm not sure.
But I remember that. I was like, that's an impressive stat. And I mean,
too many were against us as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are boots to fill when you have you know, Diaz winning the Golden Boot, but not being with the team for half the season.
Yeah,
that's an impressive thing to counter against.
And it wasn't easy, you know. That's not easy to lose him in that moment in the season, just the way we were playing. I think it was the Waterhouse. We had won 6-0, and some of the football that we played, some of the goals that we scored, and then to remove him, we still the group did an amazing job to get. You know, we were one win away from winning the league. Semi-final exit to Ottawa, so we still, in my opinion, had a very good season. But in order for us to repeat, in order for us, you know, one of our goals was to win the league and to win another championship. He might have, you know, pushed us over the edge, but we're excited to work with Easton, and he's been an excellent professional right from day one.
That's great. One of the things that most of us we've always known from day one, because it's been talked about, but you know, 4 or 5 years in, we understand this a lot better now, is that there will be players that move on from this, right? That's part of the mandate for the club, is to, like, you know, prep and not to call, I don't want to refer to it as a development league, but there is something to be said about development of players for them to go on and excel.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I'll speak just to Pacific, and from day one, our first conversations with Josh Simpson was always, we want to be a winning team, we want to be a competitive team, play an exciting brand of football, an attacking brand of football that fans can get behind and enjoy, and we want to develop players and move players on. And that was go hand in hand since day one. So Lucas McNaughton, Caden Chong, Diaz, and now Bustos. Even though Bustos was on the last year of his contract, but it's still a celebration as a club because we're doing what we say we want to do. To move those 4 players on in just 4 seasons, but we also have been competitive. We're also, you know, a top 3 team. We've also now won a championship in 2021. So we're doing the 2 things that we want to do, and I think it's important for our fans also to understand is now we've brought in Eamon Salouf, we've brought in Stephen Yates, we've brought in these new young players to get behind. They're exciting players. They have a lot of quality and a lot of potential. Sean Young is now coming into a big season. Still, he's only 21 years old. He's from the island. He's somebody that's pushing right now to try to get to that next level. And we need to celebrate when those players move on. If they're here for 10 years, from when they start, when they're 19, 18, then
it didn't really work. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I remember telling Marco at the start of last year, like, don't take this the wrong way, but I hope you're not here next year.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where he was like, what? And then he understood what I was saying. I was like, well, thanks, you know.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be those moments where, as fans, it feels a little melancholy, where you're like, oh, we just lost a guy.
For sure.
But we didn't lose a guy. We prepped a guy who's going to go out there and excel in life, right?
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, that just gives me even more impetus to want to support the club.
Absolutely, and we need to celebrate it. And then I hope that we get behind the young players that we've brought in, because we see a lot of quality. We see a lot of quality in them. They're 100% here, committed, focused. They too want to get to the next level. They want to develop. They're coming here because they know we can be competitive, we can win, we can fight for another championship, and there's an opportunity that if they're playing well and they're showing well, that they're going to move. They're going to move to the next level. So that's who we want to be, and we hope that that becomes really understood, and we get behind. And someone has an excellent game, someone has a great run of 4 to 6 weeks of play, you can see, okay, now they're coming into their potential. That's exciting, but maybe we're going to lose them, but let's embrace that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Channel that. Island player development. That's something that personally I'm hoping continues to be something that we work towards, right? You're an Island guy.
Yeah.
So with the VI wave, and I'm not entirely sure Jamar Dixon's role in all of this, but obviously on the outside it feels like everything's getting set up to create.
Absolutely.
Maybe not an official academy, but essentially to be able to.
But I mean, Daniel Ortiz, our new goalkeeper coach, he's coming from La Masia. He's coming from Barcelona. He's going to be working with our goalkeepers in the Wave. Also, our athletic therapist is licensed goalkeeper coach. He's going to be working with the Wave and with the Trident program. Chris Merriman, Ryan McCurdy, who you saw out here today, Jamar Dixon. So we're trying to integrate the staff as much as possible. And then you see Jack Gardner's here today playing in goal. Ole Cameron, the right back, is from Wave. Jack's from Wave. Sammy is from the Wave. Callum Shillington's been in here from the Wave. So we're trying to find that next next player from the island that can come through from the Wave, come into the first team, and of course that's what we all want, I think.
Yeah, people always talk about Brampton as like, oh, somehow there's something in the water there for the talent coming out of there, and as someone from the island and knowing that, I'm like, no, but we play it year round here. Like I've never played hockey on a pond, and I never will, right? Like that's not a Canadian reality for me.
Yeah.
But kicking the ball around always has been.
Absolutely.
And to me, I kept thinking, man, it's just a matter of time before we get more of those island players. But also,
Sean Young, Josh Hurd.
Yeah. Step one is creating a pathway that there is something that you can do, but we're kind of at year 5 now. It's like, okay, let's see, is this actually starting to work?
Yes, yes, yeah. I think it's difficult also. Like it's every year the CPL is improving.
It's true.
Every year, every team, the infrastructure with every club in the CPL. Now we're out of COVID as well. So you see the infrastructure, you see the training environments, you see players coming into the league, and as the level gets higher, it's going to be more and more difficult for the young players. But then we need to put more time into the academy. We need to give more experiences like today, where you've got 3 or 4 Wave players in training and coming into the training environment regular to kind of bridge that gap, and then continue to work with the youth sports and work with the universities as well.
Yeah, it's exciting. It feels like all the chips are falling in the right place. I guess one last question.
Yeah.
With now that the rules have changed about what the awards for can be at the end of the year, right? So now there's 3 potential pathways for CPL teams to get to the CONCACAF Champions League.
Yeah.
I imagine you're like aim for all 3.
Absolutely.
But with that in mind, right? Like I'm always curious. Like with some coaches talk about concentrate on the shorter number of games, like the cup games, where it's like, well, there's only 4 to glory, instead of a whole season. Where do you sit on that sort of mentality?
I mean, I think we showed it last season as well. Is that we prepare for every match to try to win and challenge every single match, to try to win, challenge for any competition that we enter. We know every player that played in those CONCACAF games, the Waterhouse and Herediano, they felt and we still have players that were there to win that championship, and that's where we want to be. That's exactly what we want to work towards every single day to get back there, and we'll take take it one match at a time, and all across the competitions, and we go for everything that we can.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming out of the gates pretty fast, right? I think 3 games in 8 days.
Yeah.
So, and one of those being that, like, you know, that first round, I don't know why they call it qualifying or whatever. Yeah, a weird name instead of calling it round 1.
Yeah.
But the Canadian Championship 4 days after, and against
Calvary.
I kind of want to say former rivals, right? But like, there's still, when in an 8-team league, everyone's a rival in some way, right?
I think with every team now, because there's, exactly 8 teams, so you start to build a little bit of a rivalry, a little bit of history with each club, with each team. So we have a great rivalry with Calvary. We've had great matches there and here, so we look forward to that game. But it must be really exciting for the possibility of like all home games as far as you can take it in that tournament. Yes.
Like on the fans' perspective, when it's an evening game and you're playing under the lights, like the energy level changes a little bit.
It does. It does, and I'm hoping this season can be the best season in terms of atmosphere and environment. We're a year out from COVID now. The schedule's there. We know that the group that's coming, that's going to be on the field, and I really hope that we can keep building on the energy. And that stadium's amazing. It's beautiful, and those nights. The game last year that sticks in my head is the Waterhouse match, the CONCACAF match. I just thought it was, we had other ones as well, but we want to build that atmosphere every time we play. Every time we play.
There's a image that I saw after that game where we had hosted up that big. I think it was Mark Village who had posted about it, about how he felt chills about it.
He did.
And in that image, you can see the Waterhouse goalkeeper with his hands on his hips, looking at that big octopus banner, and I was, I'm like, oh yeah, no, we won that game. And but everyone came out in that one, right? It's tough in this sport. You can't just look at the box score and be like, well, how was the game, right? Yeah, 6-0 feels pretty good at the end of the day, but it didn't feel like a shellacking at that game. There was moments where you're still like, you're just waiting, like, are they going to pounce? Like, what's going to happen?
That's big competition. That's CONCACAF competition.
Exactly.
I think there was a moment we were up 2-0. Yeah. They started to push. They started to come at us a little bit, and that's what we had to say to the group, because we can't let them back into the match. But yeah, those that's where we want to be. Those matches that are the games that we want to play, and that atmosphere in the stadium is what we want to try to build every single match. We want to try to build that every game.
Well, we'll do our part. That's what we do.
Yeah, but we need to do ours on the field.
Yeah, and if there's anything that we can ever do to help propel you guys to success, never hesitate to reach out. I know I'm always asking players individually, what pumps you up, right? We don't want to. We're not in the business of trying to get you guys off your game. No, we want to secure you there.
No, you're a part of the team. You're a part of the atmosphere and in the environment. We appreciate everything you guys are doing, and the TOP group as well, Lakeside
100%.
Buoys. It's been amazing. It's been excellent, and that's the environment that we always wanted to create. That's the dream, more of a European atmosphere, and bring football to life here on the island and in the country. And I think we're starting to do that, and I think this, for me, it'll be our best opportunity coming into the 5th season.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I've never missed a home game, and I don't plan on it. But
me neither.
Yeah. Well, I've seen you walk past us getting a card.
I had to sit on the other side of the pitch for one match. But
if I remember, you got wrongly carded. I think it was the goalkeeper coach who actually did
me and Marius. But I'm not so innocent. But I think Marius was. We don't know.
Yeah, I do remember seeing the footage later with you looking at the ref, being like, "Me?"
Yeah.
And that's one of those images. There are many Pacific FC images that are burned at the back of my brain, but that was definitely one of those. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time today, James.
Okay.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Good to see you.
All right. Yeah. Take care.